Well, my latest favorite topic is security. And I'm super excited about this because, this industry we've been talking about for the last few years needs to be reshaped. Let me start with a simple analogy. There's a lot of parallels between security and healthcare. My mom's a doctor. And imagine if you went to a doctor and said, listen, what do I need to get well? And the doctor said, you need to have 5,000 tablets, okay? If you did the math and you ate tablets every 30 seconds, it would take you a couple of weeks to add 5,000 tablets. But that's unfortunately what this industry is. It's a broken industry with 5,000 vendors, okay? And a bloatware set of agents on people's laptops or endpoints. A lot of very crowded consoles. Legacy technologies that have not innovated. The companies sort of become legacy and then get sold to hardware companies, get spun out of hardware companies into PE companies, and the employees leave. Okay, that's not the experience of innovation. We looked at this industry and said there's got to be a better way in which the advent of mobile and cloud and native ways in which you do things software-defined can reshape this fundamentally. And that's what VMware does well. We take a broken industry and we ask ourselves, how can we innovate it for the future? And this is what our vision is. You take that same point of view that Pat laid out so eloquently around any cloud, any app, and any device, and people were asking us, what's those little locks on the right-hand side? Well, we said it's security. You're like, yeah, but you do app defense, you do a little bit of NSX and Workspace ONE. That's not really security in its full form, and some people were starting to say, in the words of a Texan, that's like big hat and no cattle, okay? So what's really you're trying to get done? And with the advent of Carbon Black and what we're going to be doing the next few years, we think it's going to be groundbreaking. And here's very simple. On one Sesame Street simple chart, what we are doing, what we plan to do. There are 5 key control points in security. It starts with the network, okay? And we've been innovating incredibly there, as Pat talked about. The second is the endpoint, but people think of the endpoint traditionally as just the client endpoint, devices. No, there's just as important workload endpoints, servers, containers, compute in the cloud. Very, very important. In fact, there's probably more endpoints long-term in that part of the world. Number 3, identity. Very important, especially given the breaches we've heard about in the last year or two. Number 4, the cloud and the way the cloud works. And all of these 4 spit out the 5th area, which is a telemetry of data called analytics. These are the 5 important control points that we believe will create an intrinsic security platform mapped into that any cloud, any app device world. So with that, we're excited to bring into our family, pending the close, Carbon Black for 5,600 customers, 500 plus partners, the leader in this area, especially in building the cloud. And Patrick, we're looking forward to the journey. And every one of you should get a chance to look at their solution in the booth. But here's a little bit more of what Carbon Black does. They have built a security cloud which has sort of 3 core characteristics. It's an AI-powered data lake, okay? Number 2, it's a very smart, lightweight agent. And number 3, the whole architecture is cloud native and multi-tenant. So when you do this in the cloud with those types of characteristics, you're able to do point problems like endpoints detection response, a slew of other modules that you'll see us packaging up post-launch, next-gen AV, device control, and a variety of other ones. And we are going to add into this family post-close VMware modules too, app defense that you know very well, okay, and announce also at this show vulnerability management. When we put that together, those 8, 9 modules with the ecosystem, you get magic. First off, let's tell you what we think we can do in integrating this deeply inside VMware, because that's basically taking that DNA or that sort of core vitamin and pouring it into the body. Number 1, we think we can do what's never been done before, which is taking sort of app defense powered now by Carbon Black and making it agentless on the server with vSphere. Okay? Never been done before. This was the first foray of what we were doing with vSphere Platinum and Enterprise Plus. We're going to take it a whole new level, and nobody else can do that. Number 2, this is sort of, there are lots of analogies of food here. This is peanut butter and jelly, okay? Workspace ONE and Carbon Black. Why? Because one solves endpoint management, the other one solves endpoint security. And I had CIOs come to me and say, listen, I use AirWatch, now Workspace ONE, and then I use Carbon Black or some other EDR tool. Why aren't these coming from one company and more integrated? Endpoint management and endpoint security should go together like PB&J. No problem, we'll make that happen, pending close. Number 3, network threat analytics. Why not take that core capability and embed it inside NSX for the next generation of threat analytics? And number 4, we acquired this company called Cloud Courier. Very excited about it. Secure state, handles a lot of the config issues that you've seen recently in some of the breaches. We can add Carbon Black into that. So these are at least 4 and many more areas that we will be able to do. And then we'll take it to the ecosystem. For example, we'll take it to our partner Dell and SecureWorks and layer that into the way in which servers and the client laptops potentially work to make them not just managed with Workspace ONE, example unified workspace, but secured now with the combination of that workspace security. Workspace ONE plus endpoint security equals workspace security. Manage that also through the MSSP partners like SecureWorks, but not exclusively there. There'll be other partners. There are other managed security partners like IBM. There are many of you SI partners here. There are VARs. All of you will get the benefit of this as we work together to create a vibrant ecosystem. So, in summary, this is going to be our strategy. We're getting started. We're very, very excited about how this intrinsic security portfolio is going to completely disrupt the industry in a positive way, and we look forward to embarking on that journey with you.